And Sanchez throws, and Figgins takes a strike. 7:15 first pitch. And also, somewhere in this inning, a nice two-hopper would be perfect for Matt Downs.
He'll probably get the first ball of the game.
0-2. Nice easy 93 from Jonathan Sanchez. Sanchez making his 12th start. In the dirt to Figgins, hitting .324, a home run, 18 driven in. Figgins started last night and went 1 for 5. He also struck out a couple of times. Is Torres on deck. Figgins fouls it back. Well, that was the pitch that, if it were going to be put in play, it would have been a ground ball to Matt Downs.
I think one of the keys for Matt Downs tonight, he will be relying a lot on bench coach Ron Wotus to position him and get him in the right spots. He's not familiar with this Angel team and this lineup, so he's going to be looking in the dugout a lot tonight, looking for Ron Wotus.
Popped him up. Aaron Rowan in center field will make the catch. 1 out, and that's how this game gets started. So Figgins is retired, and here's Myceres Torres. Torres did not play last night. It was Ibar who played at short. Torres is hitting .281 with 15 runs batted in. And he takes a strike. So Sanchez very good in his first 2 hitters at jumping out in front. Torres is a switch hitter. The Angels have 5 switch hitters on their roster. Down the right field line, and this is a fair ball. Sherholtz will get it in to hold Torres to a 1-out double. First base runner, first hit of the ball game is Torres.
Fastball catches part of the plate, but a lot of these switch hitters, we talked about it last night, they have that tendency to stay inside the baseball, use the whole field. This Angel team, as they did last night, they keep coming at you and coming at you. They don't give away at bats. They put that ball in play, and it's all those switch hitters that give manager Mike Scioscia a lot of flexibility, all different combinations he can play.
Here's Abreu. Abreu shoots one into center field. Rowan's going back. He will make the catch. Torres went back to tag, but he will stay a second, 2 outs. Juan Rivera hit a home run last night. It got the Angels on the board first. And this was really hit high. It just kept going.
Yeah, a pitch that Zito got up above the belt. And we saw that last night with a lot of those balls that were hit well. They were up. And a lot of pitches with 2 strikes that caught too much of the plate. And that ball was carrying last night uncharacteristically here at AT&T.
Breaking ball misses. 1 ball and no strikes. I think that's a free seat. Up by the scoreboard under the arcade. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Juan Rivera, hitting .315, having a good year. And cast high, 2-0.
Torrey Hunter not in the lineup tonight for the Angels. Bruised ribs, crashed into the fence last night, so Gary Matthews gets a start. Angels have a pretty good group of outfielders that they can fill in there at any night.
Nice play, Benji Molina, 3-0. The word is that Torrey Hunter will take tomorrow off. The Angels have a day off on Thursday, and then we'll try to get into the lineup on Friday. Of course, Torrey Hunter could wake up tomorrow morning and say, I feel great, and be in the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, he's one of those veteran guys that has the respect of the manager, and the manager will listen to what he has to say. And if he wants to be in there, I'm sure he'll give him a nod.
Randy Wynn going back. Randy Wynn's not going to catch it. A run comes in. It's a double, a broken bat double, I might add, and it's 1-0. And first base umpire Dana DeMuth takes the handle of the bat from Rivera.
You don't see this all the time. Where's where the head of the bat goes? That thing goes all the way down by third base, and the ball goes over Randy Wynn's head. That bat ends up. I think Randy Wynn might have been fooled a little bit too on that swing, that ball coming off the bat. It didn't sound good at all, and a lot of times those outfielders, they're reacting to the sound of the bat.
Here's Napoli. He takes a strike. When you see the bat flying, you just don't think that the ball that was hit by a broken bat is going to sail over your head. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
It looks like Jonathan Sanchez has good command tonight. And a key for him so many times in the starts is finding that arm slot early in the game. You've got to pitch everything off his fastball. When he throws hard as he does, that sets everything else up.
Sanchez will bluff Rivera back to second. The Angels on the board here in the first inning. On a pair of doubles is Turris and Rivera. And that'll do it. Sanchez comes back. He strikes out Napoli. Angels are on the board, and the Giants are coming up. Here's their lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Rowan, Renteria, Wynn, Molina, and then Pablo Sandoval. A 9-game hitting streak. During that 9-game hitting streak, 4 home runs, 2 of them last night. Rich Aurelia, another start. Scherholtz, Matt Downs, 8th, and then Sanchez.
Here's the Angels starting defense in the outfield from left to right. Rivera, Matthews Jr., and Bobby Abreu play right. Figgins is Turris. Sean Rodriguez, Kendry Morales at first. Mike Napoli behind the plate and on the mound for the Angels on Irish Heritage Night. How appropriate. Sean O'Sullivan making his major league debut. 6'2", 230-pounder. This guy is a strike throwing machine. He's got 4 pitches. There you see his numbers in AAA. Salt Lake City is their AAA team. ERA not great, but he's got 5 wins on the year.
Rowan will be the first hitter that O'Sullivan will face.
He's a 4-pitch pitcher. Fastball, he'll sink it. four seam at 88 to 92. He's got a heavy fastball, throw a slider, curveball, and a changeup. And he's a strike thrower.
2 balls and no strikes. Keep saying it. Just keep saying it.
Strike thrower.
It's 2-0.
I'll keep saying it.
Well, I mean, we talked about Matt Downs.
Yeah.
Having some jitters. Rowan on the ground to third, off the glove of Figgins. Figgins trying to do the high backhand, and Rowan is aboard.
It's smart at bat by Aaron Rowan right there. I was going to say that the 2-0 pitch, sinker in. A lot of times when a guy throws a sinker like that, you'll get that top spin ground ball, and it'll eat up an infielder. You got to really move your feet. You see Figgins' feet get still right there. That ball kind of eats him up. Watch his feet. They get to a spot, and then they stop. And that ball will get you every time. A lot of times you're going to see that with the heavy sinker. You're going to see a lot of ground balls. Right-handed guys are going to pull the ball. Could be a busy night for Figgins at third. Nice job by Aaron Rowan, taking a couple pitches, making the kid work, getting ahead in the count 2-0, and then getting that fastball. Here's
Renteria. Renteria, chopper to Figgins. Around the horn, there's one, and the throw to first, double play. He's a strike throwing machine.
Looks like he's a ground ball throwing machine also. 2 batters, 2 ground balls at third. The Giants would be wise to take some pitches off this kid, making his debut. I'm sure he's nervous. First time through the lineup. Take some pitches, see what he's got. See if he can go up there and see all his pitches.
I've had another partner basically say the same thing. He's sitting on his couch in San Luis Obispo. He's going, I've heard that. Here's Randy Wynn. Randy Wynn takes a pitch low.
Sean O'Sullivan from San Diego.
2 balls and no strikes. See, I thought that he was off the bag.
He is.
I mean, it's not a call the umpires are going to make, but from up here it looked like he was off. Foul at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike.
The old neighborhood play.
.277 for Randy Wynn. 25 runs batted in. And he lifts one to left. And Rivera will put it away. We played 1 inning here at AT Park. He's a strike throwing machine. It's 1-0 Angels.
All right, Sunday versus the Rangers, Strikeout Cancer Day, presented by Genentech. Buy 3 tickets and get the 4th one free. First 15,000 fans receive an orange necktie. Tickets go to sfgiants.com and enter DAD as your coupon code. Pretty sweet tie.
I want to get that tie. I want to get that. Here's Kendy Morales, another switch hitter, and he takes the pitch high, 1-0. He's a dad. Keeping the youngins at least within arm's reach. Two balls and no strikes. Morales hitting .271. She's got her own deal going.
Yeah,
Junior's working on his stance. High into right center field into Triples alley. Scherholtz on the move. Scherholtz is not going to get it. And then it bounces into the seats. And the Giants catch a break. That's a ground rule double. Another double. That's the 3rd double in the game. And it was the double last night that killed the Giants.
Giants catch a break. That's an automatic triple, actually. And pitch out over the plate, out at 3rd. Morales stays behind the ball, yet gets a head out and drives it. And you talk to the right fielders that play out there, they'll come back and say, I felt like I was running a mile for that ball, and you can't make up any ground.
Yeah,
you just can't get to those balls. This Angel team's been impressive with all the doubles they've hit in the last couple of games. They use the whole field, line to line. They use the gaps. They drive the ball in the gaps. They have a good plan at the plate. Hitting coach Mickey Hatcher does a good job with these guys, understanding what types of hitters they are and working to their strengths.
Here's Gary Matthews, who takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0 for 2 last night. Overall hitting .234 with a home run and 16 driven in.
We're trying to get the ball that right side of the infield, get Morales over to 3rd with less than 2 outs. Sanchez trying to counter and keep that ball in on his hands. There we go.
0-2.
Now we set him up. He can do a couple things. You can go soft with him and get him to roll over left side. You can bust him in, get him off the plate. Throw a pitch up out of the zone, see if he'll chase.
Pretty good 0-2 pitch. 1-2.
Last night that was one of the problems with the 0-2 pitches we saw. A lot of them catching too much of the plate. Angels took advantage of those.
No swing. 2-2. Brian Knight behind home plate. Danny Demuth, Todd Tickner, Hunter Wendelstadt from 1st to 3rd. Two and 2 to Gary Matthews Jr. Hit into center field. Rowan will make the catch. Giants Baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Here's Rodriguez, who hit a home run last night.
He's got some pop. You see the numbers at AAA. He was leading all AAA with 21 homers.
Renteria. And Sandoval could not dig it out. So Sandoval, in what I'm sure first baseman will tell you is a short hop that he should have caught.
Yeah, he plays it back a little too far back towards his feet. If he gets his glove out a little bit farther out there, he takes that short hop away, and that Pablo expecting that ball to come up. That ball stays down.
It is a rough error for Renteria, and now you got, they're going to change it to an E3, which I feel better about. See if O'Sullivan is going to bunt here. That's the National League strategy. American League strategy might be different. So O'Sullivan on one pitch showed no signs of laying down a bunt.
One thing you can't do against this Angels team is you can't give them extra outs, because they will take advantage. They're the type of team that you got to give them 3 outs an inning. Anytime that they can get extra outs and extend an inning, they're going to make you pay.
Right now, Sanchez needs to pitch through that air. That's what he's got to do. You can let an inning completely get away from you if you don't go after this guy, the number 9 hitter.
First major league at bat for O'Sullivan, so you got to go at him. You got to go at him hard.
Sherholtz will put it away. And now Figgins will hit. So he did go at him.
You know, situation here, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, get your leadoff hitter up. Angels might take a chance and put a play on here, a steal. Giants will try and counter it with the 1st and 3rd defense. You got to be on your toes at 1st and 3rd. Figgins may lay one down. This team will do anything they can to steal a run at any time. See what they do here.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Sanchez. 0-1.
The thing when you're playing these teams and you know, Kipe, you're playing on the infield, you're so aware, and your mind is constantly racing about all the different situations that could happen.
Yeah, teams like that will always keep you on your toes. Sanchez spears it, and he gets out of the inning. So the air does not hurt Jonathan Sanchez. He does a good job of coming back. It remains 1-0 Angels.
A 1-0 in the bottom of the second, and it is time to cast your vote on the Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area poll question for this evening. It is, you make the call, will Pablo Sandoval be an all-star this season? A, yes, B, no. find out the results, log on to csnbayarea.com to vote. Click on the Giants page and then watch our Giants postgame live for the answer. Dwayne?
All right. C, maybe. Here's Benji Molina, who takes a pitch down low. It's Molina, Sandoval, Aurelia here in the second inning. There's a strike on the outside corner, maybe a little wide in the eyes of Benji Molina.
Talked about the Giants seeing some pitches from this kid and making him work a little bit. Only 8 pitches in the first inning.
Molina, little blooper into center field, but Matthews recovers to put it away. 1 out. Take a look at our Firestone leaderboard. Major League Baseball average leaders with 2 outs. Sandoval right on top. 433 average. Eric Ibar over in the other dugout is second, followed by Overbay Helton and then Escobar of the Atlanta Braves. It's our Firestone leaderboard. Strike to Sandoval, hitting .332, 8 home runs, 33 driven in. One ball and 1 strike.
Be interesting to see how the Angels work Sandoval night after such a great night last night with 2 home runs. You see first pitch curveball, second pitch way in, third pitch come in again.
Oh, hammers this one foul.
You know, and as a pitcher and a catcher, when that catcher sets up that far inside and that pitcher hits his spot and the guy turns on it and just barely misses a foul ball, it's frustrating. You don't know where to throw this guy. Coming in again.
Way away from the target, 2-2.
Hardest thing for a hitter to do is take a pitch that's way inside and keep that thing fair.
Sandoval up the middle in a base hit. These are the 2 home runs that Sandoval hit last night. Both of them came late, and both of them to the opposite field. I think the last one was
impressive,
more impressive than the first because of the pitch location.
Yeah.
Hard to get that ball in the air.
It is. That ball's breaking down below your knees. Hit that ball off his shins. You're right. To get that ball in the air is something special.
Here's Rich Aurelia. Rich Aurelia at .220, a home run, 13 driven in. Pablo Sandoval with a 10-game hitting streak. Aurelia 1 for 5 last night with an RBI. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nate Sherholtz to follow. Runner goes, hit and run, a little pop-up. Sandoval is going to have to get back, and he will get back. So Bruce Bochy putting on the hit and run.
Not a bad call. Reason you do that is because a pitcher's throwing a lot of strikes and a lot of sinkers. You try and get him in a count where you get a fastball and the ball's going to be down. You send that runner from first, you get those infielders moving. Rich really a good contact man. He's going to put the ball in play. That ball was just up a little bit, running in on the hands, but not a bad idea. Infielders moving, get that ball on the ground. A lot of holes.
Sherholtz takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Matt Downs is on deck.
I think his mind's racing a little bit.
Oh, is it ever? At the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Remember your first at bat?
I do. A 3-6-3 double play. I got back in the dugout. Gaylord Perry said, "You know, in this league, kid, that's 0 for 2." And I believed him. I thought the stats were different in the major leagues. There's a strike, 1 and 2.
That's a good one.
He pulled me over. He said, "Sit down. I got to tell you something." He said, "Yeah, this league, you're 0 for 2." I was like, I am?
It's going to be a long year. You swing at the first pitch?
I did. The home plate umpire was Bill Haller. And when I walked up to home plate, he said, "Kid, you will not walk."
Swing the bat.
So I was like, all right, he's giving me a pretty good lesson here, and that's swing it. So Vern Rule, first pitch, double play. The 1-2 to Sherholtz. Fouled out of play.
Great catch.
Look at that.
That was outstanding. That ball's got some.
Had a little fuzz on it.
Yes, it did.
Put it away.
She never even flinched.
Look at.
I knew it all the time.
It is amazing what can happen if you bring your glove. I mean, he didn't even know that person, and now friends for life.
She acted like she didn't even know the guy.
And I'm thinking this is first date stuff.
It's pretty impressive on first date. Look at her.
I wasn't sure about him until now. 2-2 pitch. Inside and low. 3-2. There's Matt Downs waiting for his first major league at bat. Sandoval goes, swinging a fly ball to right. Drifting back is Abreu, and Abreu is going to make the catch to end the inning. Downs will hit, leading off the third. Here it's 1-0 Angels. First date.
versus the Dodgers. 12:45 game. Participants receive a game ticket, then camp out on the field after the game. You get some food, you get a movie. Visit sfgiants.com.
I think it said /slumber party
for all the info. That's been a big hit here.
Yes. Here's this Tourist, 1-0 Angels. This Tourist fouls it out of play.
It's cool because when you play in the game, game's over at 3:45, 4. You go in, you eat, shower, come back out about 4:30. You go out to the players' lot and you see everyone pitching their tents.
Yep. Sandoval in and out of his glove. Can he recover? He cannot. And then he throws it in the dugout. That's going to be 2 errors.
It is. And 3 for the game.
So Sandoval having a struggle here defensively.
Another short hop. Does an okay job knocking it down, but what you don't want to do is when you make the first one, you don't want to make a second one. You're better off just putting that one in your pocket.
And you know what? That's a young error.
Yep.
And the first one is going to happen. The second one has everything to do with being young. And now Abreu is up, and Sanchez is going to have to pitch through another error. Outside corner strike. Giants defense has been very good, and that has not been the case tonight.
Well, Pablo's played well over there at first. He's done a great job at third. He's played well over there at first.
Into center field. That'll be a base hit. Rowan's going to get to it, and Rowan is going to do the wise thing and keep it on the infield. It's 2-0 Angels on the Abreu single. Giants Baseball is brought to you by Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing. Here's Juan Rivera. Rivera doubled in a run in the first. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Sanchez being tested here, 3rd inning. A couple tough plays behind him. He's got to, like you said earlier, Kike, he's got to block that out. He's got to focus on the next hitter, try and get a ground ball here.
Well, limit the damage to 1. And it's low, 2-0. You still have to trust your defense. Two balls and no strikes. Abreu's got 15 steals. He may take off right here. He does not. And it's low, 3-0.
Bobby Abreu is one of those guys, if you're coming to the ballpark and you bring in your son, you tell him to watch how this guy plays the game, because he does so many things good. He's a great hitter. He's a great outfielder. Runs the bases well. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he could steal bases. He gets good jumps. Does all the little things you like. Just a good all-around player and a great guy to have up in that situation right there.
On the ground towards the hole, Renteria is going to have to eat it. It'll be an infield hit. And that'll bring up Napoli.
That's just one. You tip your cap to the hitter. Not much you can do there. Renteria does a nice job keeping on the infield, and this is one of those situations where, as a pitcher, it seems like things are starting to unravel on you, but you just got to step off the mound, take a deep breath. A lot of times you'll see a catcher, one of the other infielders go in and just talk to him, calm him down. Stick with the plan. Keep that ball down. Look for ground balls.
Napoli struck out in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Napoli trying to yank. He's got 8 home runs on the year. Why not? You got a guy out there that is trying to pitch through a couple of errors and a couple of hits. He may be trying to get ahead of you with a first pitch fastball strike, and Napoli airing it out. Up high.
You watch these Angels hitters and their hitting coach is Mickey Hatcher, who was a role player for most of his career, not much of an everyday player. And these guys have a great plan when they go to the plate. They take big swings and try and go for broke at the right times. And then as the at-bat wears on, they shorten it up a little bit and they'll put balls in play, and they don't strike out a lot. And that's a backbreaker to pitchers in the defense when the team is constantly putting the ball in play. Hatcher's one of those hitting coaches that's always talking from the dugout, talking to his hitters. They're tough outs.
Smoked. Deep left field. Way gone. A 3-run home run, and it's 4-0. Well, he went for it on the first pitch, and he ended up getting it later on. Here's our fourth quality drive of the game. Think he knew it?
That pitch was on the outer half of the plate, too, and he got out there and gets the bat head out and kind of hooks it. See the balance through the swing, the strong lower half. He's got some quick hands. He had one thing in mind, that whole at bat, and that was to drive the ball out of the yard. And not a bad idea. Keep the ball off. He's trying to keep the ball off the ground and stay out of double play.
I believe I said 4-0. It's 4-0 this inning. Angels scored a run in the first. Overall, it's 5-0. And the Giants are in the same spot they were in last night, as that's rolled foul. Morales doubled in the second. And he skies it into center field. Almost looks like they're teeing off.
Well, they're awful comfortable in the plate. You're right. It almost looks like they've picked up something on Jonathan Sanchez.
They're getting some pretty good swings.
This is a situation where Jonathan Sanchez has to start moving some guys' feet, using that whole plate. The hitters are getting too comfortable. They're looking for one pitch, and that's a fastball, laying off everything else.
No balls and 1 strike to Matthews. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Giants did come back in the game last night. They scored 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th. It's been the big inning in this series. The Angels scored 7 runs off of Zito in the 4th. Angels have scored 4 runs here in the 3rd off of Sanchez, although the inning started out with a ground ball to Sandoval, who kicked it. That's strike 3 call. Tune in to Bay Area's #1 rated 11 p.m. newscast, NBC Bay Area Tonight at 11. And wake up with traffic and weather on NBC Bay Area weekday morning starting at 4:30.
I think one of the things the Giants have done better this year is they have come back and they battle back. Or in the past, you haven't seen them been able to come back in games. And they did it last night, made it respectable. They're going to have to do it again tonight. A lot of the players are talking about that. Some of the guys that have been around here have mentioned the way they're able to keep plugging away, keep coming back, and that's a good sign to have.
Rodriguez rolls it foul. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Sanchez strikes out Matthews and Rodriguez to end the inning. However, damage done. Matt Downs is going to lead things off. It's 5-0 LA. Angels have scored 5 runs in this game. So back-to-back games, we've seen the Giants give up large quantity of runs in one inning. However, the focus right now on Matt Downs, who is coming up. And it'll be his first at-bat in the big leagues.
Second baseman, number 37, Matt Downs.
So Matt Downs is stepping up. See his numbers in Fresno. Giants enjoyed watching Downs in spring training. And he takes a fastball high. Downs, Sanchez, and Rowan. Two balls and no strikes.
Got a lot of playing time in spring training. Played all over the infield. Got a lot of at-bats. Impressed hitting coach Connie Lansford. Patient hitter. Got a really good idea at the plate.
Skies went into center field. Matthews back. And at the last second, he reaches up to make the catch. So Matt Downs puts the charge into one.
Does a nice job. Gets ahead in the count 0-2 or 2-0. And when you get in that count, You let that bat go, and he did right there. Now he can breathe.
Here's Sanchez, who hasn't had a hit this year. He's 0 for 15. And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sanchez fouls it back. It's 1-2. I mean, the Giants have to believe in their dugout that they're facing a guy making his debut, and they can come back in this game. They get the best seat in the house. Strike 3 call, 2 down here in the 3rd. Time to bring you up to speed with AT Rewind. Snow! High! Deep! Out of here!
You got a splash hit.
AT Snow with a splash! And he gets his number on the board. Wow, 26 or 27. We were just talking about that last night. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered, as Rowan pulls it foul. So you remember that one?
Absolutely. Like it was yesterday.
Did that say 2003?
Yeah.
Well, you had a couple more years after that, but like you said, you got robbed. The fan reached over, snatched it out before it got to the water.
I guarantee you one thing, when they built this place and we came in 2000, I thought there'd be a lot more than 48.
A lot.
48 after 10 years.
Rowan tops it foul at the plate.
But what happened was early that first year in 2000, the opposing pitchers pitched the left-handed batters. They threw us all away. They kept the ball away because they were afraid of the short porch in right field. And then when they did make mistakes and lefties started hitting some balls at right field and they weren't going out, they were hitting off the wall, they were getting hung up by the wind, or they were going into deep right center. It was like a little light went on. And then the next year we came back and the right-handed pitchers were pounding all the lefties in, saying, "Here you go, hit it. We're going to move our right fielder over into right center and hit it as far as you want. We're going to track him down." And I saw one guy the whole time we played in the stadium was able to turn on that ball and keep it fair, and that was a big fella in left field.
Barry Bonds, and he did it a lot. And Rowan out looking to end the inning. O'Sullivan now with a pair of strikeouts. It stays 5-0 Angels. Jonathan Sanchez back out on the hill. 5-0 Angels. As Sanchez faces Sean O'Sullivan, who popped out to right field in the second. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah. Start him young.
He doesn't want the chip. He wants the dog.
Dad's got the double thing going. He's got the dog and the chip. There's a bullet off of Rich Aurelia. And it trickles up against that short wall. And that'll be a base hit for O'Sullivan. Name the 3 players. This is our Aflac trivia question, by the way.
Aflac!
Name the 3 players in Major League Baseball history with 8 or more 20-plus home runs, 20-plus stolen base seasons.
I think I know 2.
Yeah, you know more than that. You count. Oh, what happened?
He wanted the hot dog, and Dad said, "Here, take the chip."
This is not good. We got to take care of this little guy. He's dressed out and he's looking too good. And Dad's going, you know what? I'm out. I'm eating.
I'll eat him. More for me.
1-0 to Figgins. Swing and a miss by Figgins. 1 ball and 1 strike. That'll be a single for O'Sullivan. Two balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. This is not what Sanchez wants to do. Are we feeling a little better now? I'm saying we've got an inning and a half left with that group. There's a strike. 3 and 2. Sportsnet Central tonight at 10:30. Yeah, we're on TV. Junior's getting us on.
Now her cell phone's ringing.
Yeah.
And Junior doesn't care. He wants food.
3-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball in the left center field. Ball starting to carry. And it carries out to Randy Wynn, who makes the catch. 1 out for Myceres Tourist. All right, one more try. One more try.
Oh, Mom will take it. I'm saying get rid of the bread.
Just go with the dog?
Yep. Take it out of the bread and just give him the dog.
As Tourist 1 for 2. He reached on a Sandoval error in the 3rd, and that was the beginning of a 4-run inning. It's 2-0. As good as Sandoval has been wherever he's played, tonight has not been his night. He's got 3 errors tonight. At the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Sanchez now up to 67 pitches. Just a situation here where things haven't gone his way, but he's got to cinch his belt up tight. He's got to go after him.
3 and 1. He's been in this spot before. He was here with Figgins and came back to get him. He's not had an easy inning. It's been all stressful. Down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is gone. Is Torres his first home run of the year? It's a 2-run home run, and it's 7-0. And here comes Dave Righetti. Even the little guys are acting like big guys.
Well, they're getting good pitches hit. Pitches that are up. Watch where this pitch ends up. See that ball rise right above the belt. You get the bat head out. You just got to make better pitches. Got to keep the ball down, keep it below the knees. Even when the game's not going your way and it starts to unravel and get out of hand, you got to dig deep and you got to take it upon your shoulders to stay with your plan and keep going after guys. We've seen a lot of balls carrying pretty good here the last couple of nights, which is really unusual for this ballpark.
Very unusual. Here's Bobby Abreu. Well, it's up to Sanchez to show Bruce Bochy that I still belong in this game. And now the Giants are truly in the same spot they were last night. It's 7-0. Two balls and no strikes. Up the middle. Downs on the backhand. And it's not in time, as Abreu will show you that he can still sniff out a hit. Here's Juan Rivera. Rivera has a couple of hits. The Angels have 9. And this is skied into center field. Rowan will put it away. 2 outs. And here's Napoli, who hit a bomb in the 3rd inning. That's an MVP. I would agree with that. And I bet if you took that lid off, he's got as much hair as the old man.
Get that red shirt off and get him a black one.
One 1-0 to Napoli.
Well, this is a deal where Sanchez has got to try and get through this inning and see what happens. They put a lot of stress on the bullpen. They do have, Giants do have an off day on Thursday, so Boch can unload the bullpen. You got Lincecum going tomorrow. Puts a lot of workload on him to go out and give you 8 innings or a complete game. But they do have an off day on Thursday.
And a base hit to left field. And that's it. So Sanchez has a tough outing. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be back. Hosted by Damon Andrews and Dave Benz. We'll have the highlights and analysis of this ball game, recap of the A's and Dodgers, and Tiger. Well, he's going to prepare for the U.S. Open. All of that on Sportsnet Central at 10:30. Here's Justin Miller facing Kendi Morales.
Justin Miller's numbers on the year, 24th game. Good ERA. He's done a nice job when he's been called on out of the bullpen. 23 hits, 18 strikeouts. A very solid job out of that pen.
1 ball and 1 strike. Morales doubled in the second, hit a fly ball to Rowan in the third. 10 hits for the Angels, 1 for the Giants. That's out of play. It's 1-2. Giants are able to get into the Angels bullpen late yesterday, and they took advantage of it. Obviously, they're going to try to do that again tonight, but they're going to have to get after Sean O'Sullivan. Out of play. It stays 1-2.
When you got a pitcher making his major league debut, one of the best things for that pitcher is to just kind of sail along under the radar, because each inning he's going to get more confidence, feel like he belongs here. He'll start thinking that maybe it's not that tough up here. And a lot of times you see those young guys go out that first start and have a great start, throw 7-8 innings.
Yep.
Each inning that goes by, he's going to feel more and more comfortable.
Got him. And that ends the inning. Morales can't believe it, but it is true. It's 7-0 Angels.
Hunter suffered just a bruised rib section after taking a really nasty crash into the wall. It's good news for him. And last Saturday, Torrey Hunter was on fire, hitting 3 home runs in 1 game. He's the 12th Angel to do so. Now, the 3rd Angel to do this is the current Giants hitting coach, Carney Lansford, September 1st, 1979. And that should ring a bell for you, Dwayne, because he did it at Cleveland. And I wonder who was playing second base. Dwayne?
What year? 81?
71.
No. 71, I was in college. 79, yeah, then I was. Renteria takes low.
Well, if he hit 3 home runs in that ballpark, that's...
Yeah, you know, he's not a home run hitter. He was the line drive guy.
That's a huge yard, too.
Yeah, you had to be strong to hit one out of that place. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Renteria get into a double play in the fourth. Fouled off of Napoli. It's 1-2. Randy Wynn and then Benji Molina. Guys have a lot of outs left in this game, and they will try to get back in it. Foul back. It stays 1-2.
See what Napoli did with his glove right there on that pitch. He turned his glove over and threw it down on the dirt. He wanted O'Sullivan to throw that ball in the dirt. He did not, and Napoli got after him a little bit after the pitch. Watch him throw his glove down. Throw it down here in the dirt. Where was the pitch? Oof. Now watch Napoli.
Got him. Not sure where Edgar Renteria thought that pitch was. Here's our Aflac trivia question. And the answer. Name the 3 players in Major League history with 8 or more 20-plus home run seasons and 20-plus stolen base seasons. Bonds and Abreu. Yeah, he can run a little bit. He's got 15 this year. Here's Randy Wynn.
Smart base runner. One of those guys that studies pitchers and picks his spot. Not a fast guy, but he can steal them.
Randy Wynn could not hold up. It's a quick 0-2.
I shouldn't.
John O'Sullivan.
I shouldn't say not a fast guy, but not the fastest guy. Doesn't run all that great, but he runs well enough, and he knows what he's doing on the bases.
That fastball is high, 1-2. I get caught in a free agency period where nobody knew what the market was going to be like money-wise. And it really ended up falling to the Angels for a very low number as far as what you would think Abreu would get.
Yeah, Angels got a steal.
2-2 to Randy Wynn. On the ground, foul. Gonna let Laura Elliott go out and get that. Seven nothing Angels. 1 out, Randy Wynn. Waiting on Sullivan. And Randy Wynn lines it into left field. Matthews got a good jump and he puts it away.
He did. We could see it from up here in the booth. He was moving right on the crack of the bat. A lot of times you see those outfielders delay and just a hair. He's moving right on the swing.
He's got long strides and he's a very good outfielder. And here's Molina.
It's an easy game when you pitch the ball where you're supposed to and you let guys hit it right into your defense. I think the team that comes to mind that did that the best was the Atlanta Braves. They had those guys, Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz. Those guys could throw the ball where they wanted to, and they positioned the defense accordingly.
Molina with a base hit to right field. Especially in Atlanta, where they built that ballpark for their pitchers.
Big ballpark, hard to hit balls out. There'd be times where you just smoke a ball and you knew it was in the gap or down the line, and you look up and someone's standing right there catching it.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval singled in the second. Giants now have a pair of hits. Pulls this one on the ground, and Morales will put it away. Through 4 innings here at AT&T Park. Right now it's all Angels, 7-0 Los Angeles. 7-0 Angels. Here's our Corona timeout. Ex-Giants kids that are playing on this Angels team. There you see Sarge, Gary Matthews Sr. and his kid, Sarge Jr. And Chris Spire, terrific shortstop with the Giants, and his kid, Justin Spire, who was born right over in Walnut Creek. So a couple of Giants with kids that are in the big leagues with these Angels. And here is Gary Matthews Jr. And Miller starts him off with a strike. One ball and one strike. Dodgers and A's are going into the 5th inning, 0-0. Pulled on the ground to Sandoval. One more that is worth mentioning. We've got Jack Snow on the left, and his kid was smart enough to say, you know what, I'm going to set football aside. I'm going to go with baseball. And we always got to see JT's late father when we'd go to St. Louis. And he turned in to be a real good baseball fan.
He loved it.
I see him behind home plate, trying to sneak a peek at his kid when he was hitting. There's a strike to Rodriguez.
He was telling me in 02 they went to the playoffs in the World Series that every time I come up to the plate, in his house, he could go into the garage and look through the garage door, through the kitchen, in the family room.
And no problems with that.
And he said every time I'd come up, he would sneak out to the garage and he'd leave the door open just a crack so he could see, like, stick one eye through, look through the kitchen, and then whether I made an out or got a hit, then he would come back in the family room and sit down. So I would get on him and say, well, you don't trust me? You don't? So you wait. You just wait.
Yep. How true, how true.
And then playing in college down at Arizona, he'd follow us around. We'd play up here at Stanford, Cal, and I never knew it, but when I'd come up to the plate, he'd get up and leave the stadium. He'd walk out.
The 2-2 pitch, swinging a bolt on one ground, and Rich Aurilia. What a fine play to throw out Rodriguez. Richie might tell you he had it all the way, and then he'd be lying.
Yep, that's a great play.
What you do, JT, is you have to anticipate where the bounce is going to be.
Yeah, you know by the flight of the ball coming at you and how hard it's hit, keeps the glove down, and then just. If he caught that ball caught him, but another look at it on his toes. Yeah. Nothing to it.
You play it off to the side because at that speed you almost have to, but you get a little bit of an angle of the hop.
Right. You play it to the side, your hands stay relaxed a little bit more, and you're able to just react. Never a doubt.
Had it all the way. 1-2 to Sullivan, who's singled his first big league hit in the 4th. Here he strikes out to end the inning. So Miller's been 4 up, 4 down, and Rich Aurilia will lead things on.
Night is back June 19th, 7:15 versus the Rangers, and here's what $25 will get you: a seat in the special singles section, entrance to the pregame singles party with live DJs, and one free alcoholic or non-alcoholic drink. Tickets, call 415-972-2298 or visit sfgiants.com/special events. Another promotion they've had good success with.
Singles night, and they show Mulrooney. Wow, nobody's going to go now. Jeez, what a dud.
Well, if he stays behind the camera, they'll go. Yeah. If they give him a night off.
Give him a catcher's mask and send him on his way.
Look out.
Here's Rich Aurelia. Aurelia, Sherholtz, Downs facing Sean O'Sullivan. And Aurelia takes a hanger high. 1 ball and no strikes.
What'd you say the ratio was last night for the singles night?
Well, we've had a number of marriage proposals. We've had marriages, and we've had divorces come out of that whole deal. This has popped up to Rodriguez at second. 1 out. But it's always a good time. Sherholtz hit a fly ball to right field in the second. And a soft floater in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, Sullivan right now is on cruise control, and why wouldn't you be? 7-0.
That was just his 55th pitch of the game. He's impressed. He said at the top of the show, he's a strike thrower.
Chopper to short. There's Torres. 2 outs. And here's Matt Downs. Two hits in this game for the Giants. Sandoval a single, Molina a single. Travis Ishikawa is on deck. So here's Downs. Downs hit a ball well to center field, but was tracked down by Matthews. His second major league at bat, and he takes a strike.
One thing you like about him at the plate is you see how calm he is. He's got a little bit of an open stance. He gets a good look at the ball, and he just doesn't flinch. He's just nice and quiet. That's impressive for a rookie. In his first at bat, he did that. Now his second at bat, you don't see him jumping the ball. You don't see him trying to do too much. That tells me that he trusts his stuff. And he's confident with the swing he's got. He's balanced. A lot of success with that swing.
2 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. There's Ishikawa.
He's thinking one thing right here, Kite. 3-1.
Make sure it's a good pitch.
Make sure it's a good pitch, and I'm going to let it fly.
Drives it to right. Abreu will put it away, and that ends the inning. Another solid inning for O'Sullivan. Now we will head to the 6th. Well, it's time to ask Crew Kipe and JT, brought to you by Subway Eat Fresh. This is Mindy from San Francisco. She wants to know, last night you guys mentioned the Angels play a National League style of baseball. What difference are there between the leagues? Yeah, what do you mean by that? Aggressive. Run a little bit.
Hit and run, bunt, move guys over. Usually what you'll see in the American League is you have the designated hitter, so you've got 9 guys up there hitting, and American League more known for the long ball. Guys hitting more home runs, driving balls out of the yard. National League pitcher hitting.
And they don't like the bunt in the American League.
Very seldom bunt, so they have a National League style of play where they bunt guys over. They hit and run, guys steal bases, all that you see mostly in the National League because the pitcher's in the lineup.
And Mike Scioscia, where did he come from?
National League.
Abreu waiting to hit. Figgins is 0 for 3. Figgins lifts this one into shallow right field. It's Rowan moving over. The Radnich family is here tonight. You see Gary, one of his 3 daughters. I'd say that he has his hands full. That's why he works 24 hours a day. He'll be hosting 49ers postgame live for Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. And his wife Alicia is here as Randy Wynn puts it away. The 2 girls in the background, and then one on Gary's lap. That's why it's just not one job. You got to have multiple jobs. That's 3 weddings right there. He's got to be in between his sports shows tonight. Here's Abreu outside for a ball. Down and in, 2 balls and no strikes.
Abreu's another guy to watch hit. He's a good guy to watch his approach. Very quiet at the plate. What I mean by quiet is not a lot of movement in his body. His head stays very still. He's got a great idea and a great plan. Knows what pitches he wants to go after.
He goes after that one and bounces it to Downs. So Downs with his first action on defense, and that ends the inning. Pinch hitter coming up, 7-0 Angels. scam. It's Rich Aurelia taking a hit away from Sean Rodriguez in the 5th inning. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frosted Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Fred Lewis is going to pinch hit. We got a new one here at the ballpark. Here's Lewis facing O'Sullivan. 7-0 Angels, and Lewis takes high. 1 ball and no strike. Lewis hitting .257. He had a base hit last night. Here he lines one to left. Moving over is Rivera, who puts it away. 1 out. Well, welcome to K-ville, a special $55 ticket package. It'll be in the lower box seat in right field. You get a collector's t-shirt. You get a foam orange K. And to purchase the special $55 ticket package, go to sfgiants.com/Kville. Here's Rowan. Rowan fouls it out of play. Now, I got to tell you something. Pizza is one of those types of food where you could eat that at any time. And I could have pizza in the morning. Out of play, 0-2. I could have that whole thing right now.
I'll split it with you.
And it wouldn't matter if this is what's on it. That's fine. You choose. I'll eat. Rowan up the middle. It's his tourist to his left, an off balance throw. 2 down.
You know, one of the fun things is we go play in New York is Rich Aurelia would always take a couple guys. We'd always go to the best spot in New York City and get a New York style slice of pizza. And it was pretty neat. He knew all the good little spots. He'd take us. We could just eat there till we couldn't eat anymore.
Well, yeah, sometimes those pizzas, 1 slice is enough.
We get a pepperoni and then go get a sausage and then go get the combo and then. But yeah, Richie knew all the spots in New York.
Renteria up the middle, and he's got a base hit. 3rd hit of the game for the Giants. They've all been singles, and here's Randy Wynn.
That was it. We'd eat pizza and jump on the subway and go out to Shea.
Well, nothing's better, as you see the pitch numbers by O'Sullivan. Nothing's better than the night the broadcasters invited you and Richie to Luco de Beppo's in Denver.
Yeah, that was great.
And Richie and JT, who historically had really fine games at Coors Field. The ball squirts away from Napoli, and Renteria down to second. However, after the Saturday night meal, the Sunday game, Aurelia and Snow combined 0 for 10. It was officially called Buca de Ofer.
That was great.
It wasn't that funny when we walked in the clubhouse after the game. It was like,
yeah, Richie and I were sitting
great.
there all ticked off, and you and Kruk come up and say, "Dinner tomorrow night? Get out of here."
Buca de Ofer. Randy Wynn bounces it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Maybe it was the fact that we ate so much that night we couldn't move the next day.
It was great. Richie wanted one thing, and that was chicken parmesan, and it never got to him. It was gone by the time it got to the end of the table.
It was a big family style.
Yeah. Eat until you can't walk.
Until you pop.
1-1 to Randy Wynn. Randy Wynn rolls another one foul. It's 1-2. Randy Wynn is trying very hard not to pull the ball. He's pretty upset with himself. As you see Pete Alonso anchoring that camera down at the end of the Angels dugout. Pete.
That's a good combo right there. Mickey Hatcher and Pete.
Yep. They could be joined at the hip.
Not a lot of dead time down there.
Inside, 2-2.
Randy Wynn was working with Carney Lansford today in the batting cage under the stadium before the regular batting practice session, and that's all he was trying to do was hit the ball the other way. And he was down there. Watched him hit for about 10-15 minutes. Took about 50-60 swings.
Pulls another one foul. That pitch there, that's what you're going to do with it. You can't do anything other than hit it on the ground. Two balls, two strikes. And that pitch, Randy Wynn can go the other way.
Pretty cool. There's about 5 or 6 guys down there today, and you got a guy throwing batting practice. You got Carney Lansford and Will Clark down there watching guys hit and talking to guys. And these guys are all taking in. Aaron Rowan was down there. He's down there every day.
He is.
Nate Schuholtz was down there. These guys are perfectionists.
Three and 2 on the pitch in the dirt. Giants need base runners so they can come up with 2 or 3 bloops and then a blast. Tampa Bay broke the Rockies winning streak. Tampa Bay beat Colorado in Colorado. Colorado had won 11 straight. And Randy Wynn out swinging. Pretty good battle, won by O'Sullivan. It stays 7-0.
And checking out the Giants' 5th-round pick from last week's draft, first baseman Brandon Belt. Just check out the College World Series. He plays for Texas. Texas just beat Arizona today, 10-6. Excused from watching Texas is Giants closer Brian Wilson, who will be watching his LSU Tigers. He's the lone Giant with an alma mater in the College World Series. He said that is serious bragging rights in the clubhouse. And Dwayne, I think you know a little something about playing in a College World Series.
Yes. Way back in the day, 1971, the Salukis got to the championship game only to lose to Southern Cal. Brandon Metters is now on to face the Angels. The Southern Cal was so good, we threw a left-hander in that championship game. And Freddie Lynn, they didn't play him.
Really?
That's how good they were. I think he was a freshman. Here's Rivera facing
Dado.
Letters. Rod Dado. It was Steve Busby beat us in that championship game.
There's the numbers on Metters. Done a nice job this year. 28th appearance, 289.
One ball and one strike to Juan Rivera. Rivera, like many of these Angels, they've had good nights at the plate. That guy's had a good night. You got there, right?
Never got there. Thanks for bringing it up.
Off the end of the bat, rolled to Renteria. Giants Baseball is brought to you by Big O Tires. Post your comments about the San Francisco Giants on the Big O Tires sports blog at cnnbayarea.com. There's some pizza.
Oh.
I hope it's headed in this direction.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, we didn't make a kite. We very close.
I mean, you had some terrific players on those teams.
We finished the regular season ranked #1 in the nation. We started the regionals, which we hosted down in Tucson, and it was Arizona, Long Beach State, Hawaii, Eastern Kentucky, and Long Beach State beat us. Beat us twice to go.
And most of those tournaments in those days, it was double elimination.
Right. We had 8 regionals with 6 teams in each.
Yep. That's right.
So only 48 teams make it. Now 64 teams make it. It's a totally different setup.
There's a little flare, and it's going to fall. So Napoli's got a swing going right now. He's 3 for 4.
And what happened with us is we were the #1 seed. Long Beach State was a 2, and if we both won our first 2 games, we would have hooked up in the 3rd game. Well, we threw our #1 starter the first game.
Wow. We have pizza.
We got pizza.
Compliments of Amy G. Thanks, Amy. Joe Perkins, huh?
Thanks, Joe.
Is this the works? Here's Kendi Morales. Strike to Morales. There's one problem. No napkins.
No napkins.
I guess Crook's jacket's going to be a little messy.
I can use the sleeves, can't I?
He does. In tight again to Morales. So this is what Amy G delivered to us.
There we go.
And it's pretty good. We will be digging into that here very shortly.
You go first.
You were hungry, right?
I was starving. I'm always hungry.
Morales 1 for 3, doubled in the second. Big swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Anyways, back to my college story. We throw our #1 guy, Scott Erickson, the first game. We win. Long Beach State has a left-hander named Kyle Abbott. Their coach holds him back because we would have faced each other in game 3, and we did. And so their guy beat their #1 beat our #3, and they were off and running.
Morales strikes out. So fine strategy by
Dave Snow, Long Beach State. No relation. Fine strategy.
Yeah. Trevor Hoffman on that team?
Trevor Hoffman. Kevin Long was our center fielder. Kevin Long is now the Major League batting coach for the New York Yankees. Successful batting coach.
Matthews takes a strike.
Damon Mayshore, who played in the big leagues with Oakland. He was a freshman at the time, outfielder from up here in Northern California. I believe he's from Concord, California.
What? That's hot chocolate, and Dad's thinking it's okay if you just get the foam off the top. But you start sticking your finger all the way in. There's a line drive right at Downs to end the inning. It stays 7-0.
Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By Chevron with Techron. No other gasoline has more cleaning power. And by Comcast HD. With more HD than anyone, period.
All right, let's check out our McDonald's game summary. 7-0 Angels. 2 home runs, 6 in the series for the Angels. O'Sullivan in his Major League debut has been terrific. Sandoval got a hit to extend his hitting streak. And 4th first baseman with a 3-error game in San Francisco Giants history. JT Snow was not one of those.
That's good news.
Yeah. That would have been a major scoop if that were true. Here's Benji Molina here in the 7th. Molina, Sandoval, and Aurelia. And for O'Sullivan, that's pitch number 78. Two balls and no strikes. Tomorrow's a day game. It'll be Tim Lincecum. Facing Matt Palmer. Giants pregame live will be on at noon. Molina on the ground into left field, a base hit. If Benji Molina had decent speed, he'd lead the league in hitting.
He probably would, you're right.
He can hit. Three-error games by first baseman Jeffrey Leonard. I should have remembered that. Will Clark, Todd Benzinger, and then Pablo Sandoval. None before 1980, August of '82. How about that?
That is pretty amazing considering the fields are playing out.
Considering Candlestick could be a nightmare.
Nightmare.
Wind, dry out the infield. Sandoval 1 for 2. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, or make it no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I was amazed at Candlestick the first year playing there when they came out and they would drag it the infield in the 3rd inning and then drag it in the 6th. And in the 6th, they would run a hose out there and water the infield down real quick.
And it saved you.
I'd never seen a major league field water the infield during the game. And then when the Niners started playing the preseason and then during the season, the infield grass looked like a a driving range.
Yep.
With all the cleat marks, they look like divots. They'd play a game on Sunday. We'd come back off the road and play a Monday game, and it wasn't pretty.
Nope. 1-2 to Sandoval. Sandoval hammers one over the bag. That's a fair ball. Molina's going to work its way over to third, and a double for Sandoval.
We talked about it last night that Pablo Sandoval is one of the best at not giving at-bats away. Gets the ball up, gets on top of it. Once you get on top, your hands up above the ball. Just keeps it inside the bag down there at first. He's impressive. He just doesn't give at-bats away. No matter what the score is, what the situation is, he's going up every time, swinging the bat to have a good at-bat. The one thing is, for all his wild swings or as big as his strike zone is, he has a very simple approach to hitting. You talk to him about hitting, and it's very simple.
Very high to Aurelia.
And when you talk to him, he says, I go up and I try and see the ball and hit it hard.
Square it up.
That's all he tries to do. He doesn't try and hit home runs. He doesn't try and hit doubles. He gets into situations. He tries to pull the ball when he has to, or hit a fly ball if he has to, or ground ball. But other than that, I see it and I hit it.
Aurelia chases one ball and one strike.
I think if that never leaves him, he's going to be unbelievable. That was unbelievable right there.
Indeed he was. I haven't seen Willie at the park lately. 1 ball and 1 strike. Aurelia waves at another one. It's 1-2. Looks you getting frustrated right now.
Yeah, just the case. He's not picking the ball up. And a lot of times you could sit on pitches like that. You can sit on that slider because you have a hunch and you have a feeling he's going to throw it. And when he throws it, your mind's already made up you're going to swing at it. So you do. You've already committed in your mind that he's going to throw me a slider. And when he does, you just swing at it. And you forget to see the ball and you forget to track the ball.
Plus, you just don't expect it to be in the dirt. You expect it to be a hittable slider.
Right. You're expecting the pitcher to throw you a strike. He can go back down in the dirt again right here.
And that's what he did. He had plenty of chances to do that. It's 2-2.
Still got a pitch to play with right here. Can throw him another slider. Can run a fastball in on his hands. Sit on that fastball and put it in play.
Got him.
Changeup. I'll tell you what, for this kid to this be his major league debut, he's got a lot of poise and he's got a good idea of what he's doing. Throwing all his pitches for strikes tonight. And I guarantee you that's the last thing in Rich Aurelia's mind right there was a changeup.
It was either slider or fastball.
Exactly. That's pitching. Changing speeds. Disrupting the timing of the hitter.
Scherholtz has flied out and he's bounced out. And he pops this one back and out of play. Molina at third, Sandoval at second. skied into right center field, which will plate Molina, we think. Abreu throws the ball to third, and Sandoval is going to make it. Tune into the Bay Area's #1 rated 11 p.m. newscast, NBC Bay Area tonight at 11. And wake up with traffic and weather on NBC Bay Area weekday morning starting at 4:30 a.m. Giants are on the board. Sandoval moves from second to third.
You know, when you get in games like this, every at bat is still big. With guys on second, third right there, you pick up the runs because when you're down as an offensive team, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get it back to at least a 4-run game so that a grand slam can tie it. And that was something that was always preached to us when you're down by a lot of runs. You don't have to try and come back and get 7 runs. But come back and try and get it to a 4-run game, because especially with the Angels bullpen, that's been their weak link this year. And the Giants get in their bullpen, and then you get into that 8th, 9th inning, you're down by 4. Anything can happen. One swing of the bat can tie the game up.
Just off the plate to even the count. We're in the bottom of the 7th.
And obviously, as an offensive team, you're always trying to play for 5 runs. You want to get 5 runs up, take that grand slam out of it to tie you.
Two balls and 1 strike for Matt Downs. This is his 3rd major league at bat. He's flied out twice.
Got a pretty good idea of the strike zone from what we've seen. Is 3 pitches here in his 3rd at bat. His first 2 at bats, he had a nice idea of what he's trying to do up there, and a nice idea of the strike zone.
3-1. And the walk.
He's got a good idea up there. First at bat, I believe it goes 2-1. His second at bat, he goes 3-1 and flies out. First at bat, he went 2-1 and flied out to center field. Right there, he gets it to 3-1 again, takes ball 4. 0 for 2 with the walk, but he's had 3 good at bats.
Mike Butcher is the pitching coach.
You know, the coaches on the bench see that. Connie Lansford sees that. Bruce Bochy sees that. And that's a plus for him.
Fred Lewis hit a ball well to left field that Rivera tracked down. It was his only at bat as he came in as a pinch hitter and then stayed in on the double switch. The pitch to Lewis, swing and a miss on the changeup. No balls and 1 strike. Lewis pops this one into center field, and that will end the inning. Giants pick up a run. They leave a couple out there. It's 7-1.
All right, Saturday night versus the Rangers. Knit Cap Night presented by Johnsonville. Special $10 ticket offer. First 20,000 fans receive a knit cap. Go to sfgiants.com and enter Randy as a coupon code.
Knit cap, huh?
Yeah. We're to the ballpark where it's skiing.
This is Rodriguez here in the 8th inning. As Brendan Metters pitching his 2nd inning. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Vlad Guerrero on deck. And that's a 3-pitch see ya. 1 out. All right, let's go to the Acme Chop House, and here's Scott Reese.
All right, guys, coming up on the post-game show, Bip Roberts and I will try to make some sense of what we've seen the last couple of days. And, of course, Bruce Bochy Live and the KNBR Wrap. It's all coming up on Post-Game Live from Acme Chop House. We'll see you after this one's done.
All right, thanks, Scott. You can see what Mike Scioscia's trying to do. He's trying to get at least an at-bat for Guerrero every game.
Yeah, pretty smart idea.
Without the DH.
Keep a little timing. Let him see some pitches.
He will come out swinging. Guerrero had a pinch hit, base hit, a single in the game last night. On the ground, and another base hit for Guerrero coming off the bench. And here's Figgins. Figgins has not joined the party yet. He's 0 for 4. He did the same thing last night. He got a base hit late in the game.
Always seems like there's that one guy. Team's having a good game, 12 hits. There's that one guy sucking up an offer.
Well, somebody's got to make the outs. There's a pitch outside, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to Figgins. There's a strike. Sure, it's rare for Figgins to be hitting with Guerrero on first. It's usually the other way around.
And that one guy that takes the offer, his teammates will let him know about it after the game.
Oh, absolutely. Pop foul down the left field line. Not really hit high enough for Fred Lewis to get there in time. Sanchez, Miller, and Metters. Miller went 2 1/3. Metters now in his 2nd inning. Got him. Second out here in the 8th. Here's Torres. Torres hit his first home run of the year. He did that in the 4th inning. Fastball is high.
Brendan Metters throwing the ball well. 7 batters faced. 3 strikeouts. He's done a nice job. Him and Justin Miller, ERAs in the 2s coming out of that bullpen. You always have to see those bullpen guys come in the game with the ERA under 3. Because one bad inning for these guys, and that ERA gets blown up.
Yeah, and then it takes you a month to get it back down.
It takes you a month.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Good fans. They all brought their gloves. And the 1-2. And Torres lines it to right. That's his third hit. And that'll bring up Abreu.
That's a pretty nice job of hitting right there. He got fooled on that pitch. You see his body get out front, but what he did was kept his hands back. Get that front foot down, keep your hands back. Doesn't matter what the rest of your body. Kind of gets out there a little bit and keeps those hands back and just flicks it into right field. See his front side break down a little bit. You get that. Anytime that pitcher can get that hitter to break that front side down, watch that front leg. If that thing bends, you get that bend in that knee. You know you broke him down. You fooled him with the speed of the pitch.
Abreu takes low. 13 hits tonight for the Angels. The Angels had 16 last night.
It happens when you break down as a hitter. Front leg goes, your head will go down. You lose track of the ball. Throws your eyesight off just a little bit. You end up popping the ball up.
So Abreu has worked it into a good hitter's count at 2-0 with 2 on and 2 out. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Seattle tonight shut out San Diego. Kansas City shut out Arizona. Dodgers are shutting out Oakland. And Tampa Bay beat Colorado. Here it's 7-1 Angels. And that's hit sharply into right field, a base hit. They're going to wave in Guerrero as Scherholz kicks it around. So Guerrero will score. Abreu with his 3rd hit. And the hitter will be Rivera. Here comes Dave Righetti.
Bobby Abreu, just another one of those hitters that just doesn't throw at bats away. Doesn't matter the score of the game, doesn't matter the situation. He goes up there and gives you a tough at bat. That's why he hits 300 every year. He drives in 100. Smart hitter. You saw that count get to 2-0. He threw Meadows throws him a fastball away. He doesn't even offer at it because he's not looking for it. He's the one in control. He's waiting for the pitcher to come to him. Very smart baseball player.
He and Pablo Sandoval from the great country of Venezuela. As Jeremy Affeldt is getting loose.
Played there. Ever play down there?
I did 3 years. I was
city?
in Maracay.
That's where I was.
I was there before you were there.
The Tigres. Were they the Tigres at the time?
Yep. I was there. We won 2 of the 3 years I was there. We were champions. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it.
Pretty cool experience.
Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. And they say he went around.
Pretty wild when you go out for your first game and the police are all standing on the field with their guard dog German Shepherds and their guns are loaded, and you're supposed to go out there and relax and play a game.
Ozzie Virgil told me, he said, see those guys over there with those guns? Do not make an error. And I was like, he's got to be kidding. He's got to be kidding. Chopper to Renteria, and that will end the inning. 1 run on 3 hits, 2 left. It's 8-1 Angels.
What's happening?
All right. Tonight at 11 o'clock, it'll be Chronicle Live. Who's going to host that? Well, it's always Greg Papa. And tonight he's going to host Ben Davidson, the former Raiders great, and he was great. Former A's pitcher Mike Norris. Great story in the Chronicle today about Mike Norris. And Art Gallery owner George Grefsky. All that tonight at 11, hosted by Greg Papa. Check it out. Also, Gwen Knapp of the Chronicle and Monty Poole of the Trib. They will be there as well. 8-1 Angels. Justin Spire facing Aaron Rowan. On a strike. Spire pitched last night. He gave up the home run to Pablo Sandoval.
That was a great article today in the Chronicle about Mike Norris.
It was terrific.
Yeah,
and, I mean,
good stuff. Good
we
reading.
know what's going on with Mike Norris, but a lot of times other people don't. And the fact that he's coaching and getting out and about. Rowan flips one into left field. Is it going to hang up? It will hang up as Rivera puts it away. Jason Giambi has just hit a 3-run home run in L.A. to give the A's a 3-2 lead. Dodgers have not been giving up runs late. Well, they just gave up a 3-run shot to Giambi. Here's Renteria, who's 1 for 3, and Renteria tries to bunt. And he bunts through it, 0-1. Troncoso is the pitcher that gave it up. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Very colorful group. They had to pull that blanket out of the kids' room.
Had to.
Or that's one that somebody was trying to throw away and you threw it in the trunk of your car.
That was a re-gift.
Figgins throws Renteria. Join us tomorrow. Pregame Live will be at noon. We'll be on the air at 12:30 with the first pitch right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It'll be Tim Lincecum against Matt Palmer. Matt Palmer last year had a couple of starts for the Giants, but some of the injuries and the death of Nick Adenhart has allowed Matt Palmer an opportunity, and he's taken advantage of it. Here's Ishikawa with 2 outs, and he takes a strike.
Looking forward to that one tomorrow. This one stays the same here. You got Lincecum on the mound, and the Angels trying to go for a sweep. I think Tim Lincecum is going to have a little something to say about that. He will go to sleep tonight with a chip on his shoulder.
He's been very good after the Giants loss. Inside to Ishikawa. This little one is hanging in there. Of course, judging by which I was going to say, she must have some cotton candy close by.
He's only on the first color.
That's right, and that'll keep you up for a little while. Ishikawa fights that off to see another pitch. Yeah. That's a big bag, too.
Huge bag. She's got the. She's still got to go blue and yellow.
She'll never get to yellow.
No school tomorrow.
Those do not do well, by the way, if you just put in the refrigerator for tomorrow. Ishikawa strikes out swinging to end the inning. We will go to the 9th. It's 8-1 Angels. 8-1 as we go to the ninth. Is Jeremy Affeld's going to get some work? Napoli has had a good night. He's had 3 hits. He had a long 3-run home run off of Sanchez in the 3rd. Inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Eli Whiteside behind the plate.
Hammered into right center field. Rowan's going to watch this one sail over his head. Babe Napoli is headed into second with a double.
This guy is strong. See that ball take off? Got halfway out there to center field and just kicked into another gear. Watch how he drives down through this ball. Little side shot. He gets great use of his lower body, his legs, his backside, and that fires his hands through. And this ball just takes off. You know, he reminds me of wears the same number that Dustin Moore. Remember?
Yeah.
He reminds me, looks a lot like Dustin Moore. Played with the Giants. Dustin was in here in 04. I think Dustin Moore.
Swing and a miss by Morales.
I think Dustin Moore, number 44. Strong.
I like Dustin Moore.
Yeah, good guy. Biggest Denver Bronco fan I've ever met.
Was he?
Yep. Still lives in Denver.
Breaking ball, strike. It's 0-2.
Said he fell in love with the Broncos when John Elway led him on that drive in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's great.
Back in 80, whatever.
Thanks for reminding me. 0-2 to Morales. Swing and a miss. I felt with the strikeout.
Dustin's from Mississippi. I said, how's a guy from Mississippi root for the Broncos? John Elway.
You've had the drive, you've had the fumble. You've had all kinds of things happen. Michael Jordan just do all kinds of weird things to the Cavs. Matthews is 0 for 4. Slowly hit. No balls and 1 strike.
Lost to the Magic this year.
Yeah. And they had to have been favored.
Hit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. You guys are set.
No balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 0-2. One out here in the ninth. 8-1. Angels. Blocked by Whiteside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Gary Matthews been struggling this year. Hasn't quite found that groove. He's a streaky hitter. You see a lot of the pitches that are thrown to him, you see his hands move first. And that tells you that you're not trusting your hands. Your hands are kind of flinching at the ball, kind of moving forward. Like that. A lot of times that either says you're not picking the ball up or you're not trusting your plan at the plate. You want to see a hitter when that front foot comes down, you want to see his hands back in that launch position. When you start getting in between and you're unsure of yourself, maybe you lost a little confidence, you start going at the ball with your hands because you don't want to get beat.
Did 3-2.
Good again right there.
Halfelt deals. And he walks Matthews. Here's Sean Rodriguez.
Hardest thing to do in baseball like that is when you get in a funk is to try and work it out, because you're playing games every day. It's not like you have a couple of days to go practice and work it out. You got to get your work done in the cage. But the work in the cage is not at game speed.
That's probably worse for a pitcher, though, JT.
Yep.
There's a strike.
Yeah, a hitter can go down at least, and there's batting cages in all the ballparks now, and they usually have a pitching machine. You can crank that machine up to simulate a fastball. Maybe not a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but you can simulate the speed. Pitchers can't do that. They gotta
outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Work on it on the side, but they're not on the side throwing as hard as they can like they are in a game situation. That's why you love to play every day. You love to be in there every day, keep that rhythm, keep that timing. Some days 0 for 4s aren't bad.
Double play ball to Downs. He steps on the bag, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Lots and lots of work to do for the Giants. And Dave Benz, it'll be Sportsnet Central. A recap of this game, a recap of the A's and Dodgers, and a recap. Actually, it can't be a recap. It's got to be in preparation of the U.S. Open. Tiger. You always got to bet on Tiger, don't you?
You have to.
Sportsnet Central at 10:30.
I was watching some of the news conference today with Tiger, and one reporter asked him, what do you think the prototypical golfer, who's a prototypical golfer to win a U.S. Open?
You asked him that?
Yeah.
Did he say me?
Tiger just chuckled like, are you serious with that question?
Here's Eli Whiteside, who takes a strike. Whiteside hitting .318. As Bolger, Jason Bolger, threw that breaking ball, and Whiteside couldn't stop. No balls and 2 strikes. Threw it again, 1 and 2. O'Sullivan was terrific. He went 7 innings. He's in line to get his first major league win. 2 and 2. This Bolger throws downhill.
Gets on top of the ball. Creates that angle that you want to see from pitchers when they throw.
3-2.
Pitchers that throw that flat fastball are the ones that often get hit a lot. It's those pitchers that get on top of the ball and create that angle, that steep angle. That's a fastball that's tough to hit.
Outside, pulls it foul.
That flat fastball stays in that zone a long time. The one with that steepness to it, the ball's only in the hitting zone for a split second. Those are the balls that are tough to square up.
3-2 to Whiteside. And Whiteside chases that pitch that was in the dirt. And Napoli throws him out. Whiteside had to know that it was coming again eventually.
Yeah.
Here's Sandoval, who's got a couple of hits. Sandoval doubled right over the bag at first in the 7th inning. One ball and no strikes. It's low. Lincecum tomorrow. Lincecum and Palmer combined are 12-1 this year. There's your matchup. Lincecum 6-1, Palmer 6-0. Sandoval fouls it back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
This is where the great hitters get greedy. Game like this, you've already got 2 hits. Game pretty much out of reach. Trying to get that 3rd one.
High and foul and a souvenir.
As a hitter, 3 for 4 always sounded so much better than 2 for 4.
3 for 4 was a special night.
Yeah.
2 for 4 you expected.
You want to get a couple hits every game. You get 3, that's a bonus.
Little did anybody know that a ball would make that guy that goofy. Breaking ball, got him. Bolger knew it, Sandoval didn't. 2 outs.
A over the top curveball. You see it buckle a little bit. Pablo buckles a little bit. Wasn't expecting that. When that ball came out of his hand, Pablo thought that was a high fastball.
Here's Rich Aurelia. Rich Aurelia 0 for 3 tonight. Outside and low, 2-0. Nearly 35,000 here tonight. A nice crowd coming out to see the Los Angeles Angels of Los Angeles. The 2-0 pitch.
That's good.
You cannot. Isn't it the Anaheim Angels?
It is. Started off the California Angels, then went to the Anaheim, and now it's the Los Angeles.
California Angels.
I don't know where Los Angeles comes into play. Has nothing to do with that area.
3-0 pitch is up and in a walk to Aurelia.
When I was a kid growing up down there, I didn't understand where the California Angels came into play.
See the CA on that hat?
There it is.
That's a good one right there.
That's the rally hat.
Chicks.
That's a bad fold. She just pulled that out of her back pocket.
Plus, it's been in the rain. Sherholtz 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Look out. 1 ball and no strikes. Low 2-0. Hey, get Matt Downs at bat.
Yeah. One more shot.
Three and 0. It may happen. It's going to happen.
All right.
Matt Downs making his major league debut today. Hit a deep fly ball to center field in his first major league at bat. Then hit a fly ball to right field in his second major league at bat. And in his third major league at bat, he drew a walk.
He's had good at bats. He showed a good eye at the plate, a lot of patience. It's not easy for someone to come up in their first game and show that type of patience. Usually guys are jumping out at the ball, swinging at everything. But he's got a good idea at the plate. Got a nice approach. He's hit nearly 400 in Fresno with guys in scoring position. Yeah. And hitting over 300 against righties and under 200 against lefties, which is an amazing stat.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So that tells me that he can hit righties. You hit righties like that, you're going to play. You're going to be an everyday player.
So here's Downs. And that last fastball is inside.
Matt Downs was playing in San Jose last year for the Class A San Jose Giants.
And a strike. So Downs was at least going to take 1 strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gives all the guys hope that he played with last year. It gives them all hope to see him up here in the big leagues. They all know if they go down and produce and play that people are watching and they've got a shot to get up here and play.
Two balls and a strike to Matt Downs. Aurelia and Sherholtz are your base runners. 3-1.
He's got a great eye.
Well, you would think in the excitement of trying to get your first major league hit, you might expand a little bit. He hasn't done that.
Impressive.
Hammer to center field. Matthews back. Matthews is going to make the running catch. And that's the ball game. Game 2 in this 3-game series. Well, it goes to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. 8-1 is your final. Tomorrow it'll be Tim Lincecum to try to break this short 2-game losing streak. He'll be facing Matt Palmer. And that'll all happen.